What is a paper tiger? And what is it that makes them so dangerous? I mean, why are we terrified of paper tigers?
Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast. 5-minute videos, 5 days a week.
I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. When I was in the Air Force, I used to work with a guy at my very first assignment base. He was a civilian who'd been in the fire department for years. In fact, had some claim to fame that his uncle was a famous guy from the Enola Gay or something like that. And one of his strange habits was, as you were standing there talking to him, he would be looking you dead in the eye. He would, as if a crashing airplane were about to hit you in the back of the head. And his reaction inevitably would cause everyone around him to duck as well, and then look to see what is the danger, what is the hazard, what are we reacting to? That, my friends, is a paper tiger in real life. But see, it's a way of saying, here's the threat. You should be looking at this. Watch out. People call it a red herring. Some people call it a straw man argument, a paper tiger, a red herring. They're all pretty much the same thing. It's, again, back to the movie Now You See Me, about the magicians and the sleight of hand. The closer you look, the less you'll see. There's a strong reality there. And the more you can get the cat to look at the laser, the more you can walk to the balcony. Think about it for a moment, folks. If you're watching the very minute, you lose sight of the big picture. And the more you're stuck looking at that minute, that very small, even if the small is actually really big, then the question you have to ask is, if I put this in perspective, if I run into the wall or walk off the edge of the table or the dog run into traffic by chasing the laser light, if that laser light is that small and the block is that big or the balcony is that in my life, if this whole lockdown thing is the size of the laser point, what's the big picture I'm missing? Yes, I'm serious. That's a question we need to be asking. Is it a rope-a-dope? Is it, hey, look over there. Look at all the size of those vicious paper tigers right now. They're going to get you. Those tigers are going to get you. There's a great video on Facebook that talks about our perception. It's a GIF. I mean, it's 25 seconds long. But it's a guy sitting on the couch doing down duty. And as he's just sitting there chilling, his kids come in the room looking for him to get involved in a game or settle an argument or something. And he grabs a printout that looks just like the couch pillows and puts it up in front of him and virtually disappears. You can't even tell he's there. And as soon as the kids walk out of the room, he puts down the printout and goes back to what he was doing, playing videos on his phone or whatever. The reality of that paper tiger is that image that, look, see, it's not what you think it is. While what's going on behind the image is something entirely different. While the cat's chasing the laser, someone is burning your house down. It's that kind of stuff. And if we're so focused like the laser pointer, what is the big picture that we're missing? See, challenge in my opinion, and that is, for paper tigers, normally you could blow them over. For a paper tiger, when you realize that's a false flag, that's a red herring, it's just a straw man, you can just crush it and you're done. It's just the revelation that it's a paper tiger that makes you go, ah, yeah, you got me. When my friends and duck and avoid invisible objects and people would turn around the first 5 or 6 times, it worked really, really well. And especially if you did it in a hard hat area where you kind of anyway, or in a danger zone where you know things are moving around and you can hear a lot of noise. It was even more believable that he would duck because, well, you suspected there was something going to hit you in the head. But when you're all sitting around having coffee in the lunchroom, and it's only the newbies that fall for it. It's only the guy who's just been here a week. The first time he ducks, everybody. After a while, it's only the gullible. Only the gullible. But again, if COVID-19 pointer? What is the big picture that we're not seeing? And if squashing a paper tiger, blowing it over, is the way that we expose it and get beyond it, why are there so many flamethrower suggestions to solve this problem? All I'm asking as leaders is that you think and you ask the question, is this a paper tiger? And if so, what's hiding behind it? I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.
Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.